Hey everybody, Eric Kasloff here, and it is Sunday, and on Sundays I'm going to try to do something completely different. It might be a music review, I might do a vlog out somewhere in my neighborhood, or something like this. Now, I have begun maybe 2 years ago, I got really into VHS tape collecting. Now, I primarily buy movies from the 90s because that's when I was a teenager. Yeah, my upcoming slasher movie, Hillsborough Road, is set in the 80s, but that's only because Hillsborough Road could only take place in the 80s. And right now, I'm going to show you my VHS collection by starting off with the non-horror movies. First up, we have The Rocketeer. Oddly enough, I think I saw it when I was a kid, but haven't watched it yet. But yeah, very cool. I got it at a Goodwill. Now, most of my movies I buy off of eBay and end up paying a little bit more for them than I would like. Alright, I want to get into two of my favorite movies. First, Empire Records. If I had to pick three movies that to me define the 90s, they would be Empire Records, Scream, and Can't Hardly Wait. But yeah, if you haven't seen Empire Records, definitely check it out. Next is my all-time favorite movie. In fact, Hillsborough Road, my upcoming movie, is inspired by two movies in particular. One of them is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, and the other is Dazed and Confused. Now, of course, I have the Criterion Blu-ray of it, but there is something special about watching this movie on VHS. It just brings back so many memories of being a teenager in Los Angeles and going to Rocket Video or 2020 Video with my cousins and renting movies. Next, Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Because my uncle was at a garage sale and bought it for me. You know, I might watch it on VHS just for nostalgia purposes. And, you know, after the sequel trilogy, I have a new appreciation for the prequels. Next, again, because my uncle got it for me, these next four were pretty much purchased by my uncle from a garage sale. Next up, E.T. It's E.T. What more do I have to say about it? You're going to see a trend here. Next up, Jurassic Park. Again, what more do I need to say about it? I remember seeing this movie opening day with my grandma and I think my sister Amanda. Very nostalgic. Next up is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Again, love this movie. What more do I have to say about it? Now, some people, collectors, will turn a movie like this away because of how damaged the box is. Honestly, if I was going to spend money on it, I probably would too. But since it was a gift, I wasn't going to say no to it. Right, I want to save my Scream ones for N because those are very special. Next up, the Puppet Master. Not the Full Moon Puppet Master. A very cool sci-fi movie. Very much inspired by the X-Files. Good Bad Flicks is how I found out about this movie. Next up, Scary Movie. One of the best spoof movies ever made. Then after that, we have Rose Red. Now, like a lot of people, I loved the oh my god, what was the Netflix show called? The Haunting of Hill House. It was really good, but it was a very bad adaptation of The Haunting of Hill House. It wasn't at all, but Rose Red is a pretty good adaptation of it. Alright, next up. Infested. The Pink Ranger fighting CGI killer bees. What more could you want? The Skulls 2, because it was $1 at my local thrift shop. Christina's House, because it was on a webpage for teen horror movies from the 90s. The Curve, because Matthew Lillard was in it. Haven't watched it yet. Next, Oxid. I can't pronounce it right now, and it's a little covered. Again, because I saw it at my local thrift shop. Let me get a good chunk. Carrie 2, The Rage. Because it is a good movie, damn it. Not a good sequel to Carrie, but a good movie. Next, Campfire Tales. This was like $10, so it was pretty expensive for a VHS tape, but I've spent more on VHS tapes, but very cool anthology movie. You can see my review for it right here. Halloween H2O, because I like it. It's probably my third favorite Halloween movie. I'm not saying best, but I'm going by my favorites, and my favorite Halloween movie is 4 because it's when my lifelong crush on Danielle Harris started, and then the original Halloween, and then Halloween H2O, like I just said. Slice. Um, that's a tough one. I like it, but it is kind of false advertising. Okay, we got a lot more to go. The Pool, a slasher movie that takes place at a pool. And there's a pretty famous actor, James McAvoy, Professor X, and the dude from Split is in it. One of his first movies. A classic. Again, I have a DVD of it and a Blu-ray, but urban legend. Again, saw this movie opening day with my cousin. Absolutely love it. Urban legend, Bloody Mary. I saw it a while ago. Man, like maybe 6 years ago. Really dug it. Finally own it. Alright, there is actually an 80s movie. And man, did I spend a lot for this. This was $20. And it is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Funny story. Right when that box set came out from Scream Factory, I was considering buying it, but thought, you know what? Anyone can own that. I want to own all of the Friday movies on VHS. Next, this is a very, very good movie. Took me a while to find, and again, pretty expensive. $20. But it is Cherry Falls. Now, this isn't the kind of movie you can just find at the Goodwill. It's really rare because it is a screening copy only. So this is what they would have sent to like a video store to see if the owners wanted to rent it at their store. I also have the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Okay, let's get another good chunk. School's Out, a German made-for-TV slasher. I did not like it. One of the biggest problems with it is when you're watching a TV show and it cuts to commercials, in your mind you process that, time has passed since the last scene. But not with this movie. I mean, it goes from one period to like the next scene being 6 months later. So, yeah, very confusing. The Hollow, a very cool slasher movie set in Sleepy Hollow with the Headless Horseman. Why don't we get more movies like that? If I had to be honest, though, I do like the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode a little bit more that involved the Headless Horseman. Adam and Eve, haven't watched it yet. Oh, okay. This is pretty much, man, my Kevin Williamson collection. Because we're starting off with the only movie he's ever directed, Teaching Mrs. Tingle, which was originally called Killing Mrs. Tingle, but they changed it after, I think, Columbine happened. Next up, I Know What You Did Last Summer. Again, another great Kevin Williamson movie, written by Kevin Williamson. Next, The Faculty. Again, a Kevin Williamson movie. Funny thing just happened while I was getting ready to do this video. I've always thought I owned Disturbing Behavior on VHS, but apparently I don't. So as soon as this video's done, I'm gonna jump on eBay and fix that. In fact, hey, future Eric, if you do purchase Disturbing Behavior, put in the video right now. Hey, past Eric, it's me, future Eric, and I am on eBay right now. I found a copy of Disturbing Behavior for $5.74. A bit more than I would like to pay for it, but hey, what am I gonna do? Okay, so let's go on with the collection. Scream 2. Again, it's a Scream movie. I enjoy it. Yeah, the worst scene in the franchise and maybe in slasher movies does happen in this one. The I Think I Love You scene. Man, is it cringy. And I usually fast forward it or mute it when that happens. Next up. Whew. Soul Survivor. We talked about this on the Smells Like Teen Horror podcast. The other guys hated it. I loved it. Next. Urban Legend Final Cut. Again, I've only seen it once. Sorry for that burp. But I really enjoyed it. Killing Mr. Griffin, based on a Lois Duncan novel. And again, pretty cool book. Huge 90s nostalgia. Slater's in it. One of the girls from Dawson's Creek is in it. Jen. I think someone from Roseanne. No, that's the next movie. But I mean, come on. Slater and Jen are in it. What more could you want? Now, this is the movie with the oldest daughter from Roseanne. Again, another Lois Duncan novel. I've Been Waiting for You. Again, really enjoyed this movie. I will do a review for it because no one talks about it. Okay, and let's... The Clown at Midnight. I really enjoyed this. It is a Canadian and American movie. Really, really cool. And the daughter from not Step by Step, from Family Matters is in it. Not Laura, the other one. So, yeah, pretty good movie. Do you want to know a secret? And do you want to know a secret? This movie kind of sucks. But again, I've only seen it once. Maybe I'll watch it again. Lover's Lane. I will be doing a review for this because Valentine's Day is coming up and I really enjoyed this movie. Next up, Final Stab. Again, pretty good, but if you've seen April Fool's Day, you've seen this movie. Okay, we are really getting close to the end. Final Destination. Classic, maybe the best movie in the series. After this one, I would have to put Part 5 and then Part 3. But yeah, you've got to own this movie either on DVD or Blu-ray. Back, I needed desperately to get something to drink. Next, Valentine. Now, if I had to pick the big three of 90s and 2000s horror, it would definitely be Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then this movie. And yes, I do have the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Very cool, but something special about watching it on VHS. Next up, The Ripper. Now, there is a sequel to this, but very, very cool movie. A Jack the Ripper movie, but set nowadays, kind of. Well, no, it's kind of a Jack the Ripper movie, but set nowadays, and I really enjoyed it. This, to me, is a classic from the early 90s, even though it feels like an 80s movie, and that is Dr. Giggles. You've got to own this movie. And this was one of the first VHS movies that I spent a lot of money for. Well, at the time, it was a lot of money for me. I think I spent like $10 for it. And now I like to call myself the $20 man because I will easily drop $20 on a VHS tape. Oh. Well, at midnight, I did that stack. Did those. Now it's time for my favorites. Now, if you were to ask me, Eric, what is your second favorite movie of all time? I would gladly say Scream. It is also my favorite slasher movie of all time. And I own a lot of different versions of this movie on VHS. And let's get into them. It's going to take me a while to pick them up. Okay, we'll start off with the basic Plain Jane, okay, we're not starting with the Plain Jane. We are starting with the Women of Scream collection, in particular the Drew Barrymore cover, even though that does not look like Drew Barrymore at all. Okay, next, the Courtney Cox cover. Now, that is actually Courtney Cox, so yeah. Then we've got the Neve Campbell cover, and again, clearly Neve Campbell, but there is no way in the world you can convince me that is Drew Barrymore on that cover. Next, the Plain Jane version of Scream on VHS. Then after that, the widescreen version of Scream on VHS. And lastly, maybe the most special one. In fact, I showed it to Lee of Dumb Drums, the YouTuber, and he was even impressed by this. And that is the Scream with audio commentary. I didn't know they made VHS tapes with audio commentary, but apparently they do. And I have one of my all-time favorite movies slash favorite slasher movie on VHS with commentary. Now, it is the commentary track from the DVD, Blu-ray, and Laserdisc. Maybe I should purchase this on Laserdisc. I mean, I don't own a Laserdisc player, and I have nowhere to put it. Maybe I'll put it in my background or something. But yeah, that is my VHS tape collection. If you own any of these movies, comment below what your thoughts, or tell me about your VHS tape collection. Well, everybody, like I always say, if for some reason you liked my incoherent